What's up, y'all? It's Daniel, your Shoemmelier. Now, I don't know if you're like me, but there are authors or artists or bands or movie directors that whatever they release, I will buy it, I will consume it without even reading a review, just because they are either my favorites or they've earned that trust and love from me. When it comes to books, I used to be all about Michael Crichton. I would just buy anything that man wrote. I would gobble it up because it was so much fun to read. In music, I love U2. Yes, I'm a kid of the 80s and 90s. I've been a fan of them since I was cognizant with Joshua Tree, and ever since, and I've wrote, they're my ride or die, high or low, and there's been some lows. Count me as one of the few, I imagine, that wasn't upset when you got a free U2 album on your AirPod or iPod or iPhone. I can't remember, it was so long ago. And when it comes to movies, Steven Spielberg, Quentin Tarantino, Darren Aronofsky, those are just three directors that when they have a new movie come out, at the very least, I'm going to look into it. And I think the same thing can be said about sneakers. For some of us, if it's a Jordan 1 or a Jordan 11 or Jordan 3 or an Ultra Boost or a Yeezy or any other type of silhouette that you like, a Kobe, a Kyrie, that's a music joke for you, a KD, regardless, maybe there's some of you out there that go, anytime that shoe comes out, I'm gonna get it. I've seen documentaries on people who are that way about the Air Max 1. And I was like that for a little bit on certain silhouettes. I would go, I'm gonna get all of those. I most recently made a video about having to get all of the colorways of the Prada and Nike Air Max 1 Waves colorways, but that's just a collection. It wasn't a silhouette. The Air Max 1 existed before the Prada collaborations, and it will exist afterwards. But I am here to tell you that now I have come across a silhouette that now I've deemed that I will buy every colorway of this silhouette that ever comes out, if I can get my hands on it for a good price, because this Adidas NMD S1 has now become my favorite silhouette of any shoe silhouette out there. Go ahead and leave your aghast, your shocked, your clutch your pearls, your hate comments in the comment section down below. But I'm ready to say it. The NMD S1, the Adidas NMD S1 silhouette is my favorite silhouette. It's amazing, and I'm gonna give you 2 reasons why. Now, while the NMD S1 in the white colorway was the first official released colorway, though there was the friends and family, and I do believe Pharrell was wearing them long before they came out, I saw the pictures, and much like any picture of any Boost related shoe that doesn't look like a normal Adidas, people thought that was, oh, that's the Yeezy 350 V3. And regardless if it was the V3 or what it ended up becoming, an Ultra Boost and NMD S1, I saw that shoe and I go, I have to have that shoe. I want to go to there. It will be mine. It was just the right combination of and like oh and ooh and So I had to get it. And it took me a while to get it, but once I put them on feet, oh man, I realized why this shoe was so amazing. So before we get too far into it, let me tell you a little bit about the nuts and bolts about the shoe. The Adidas NMD S1 boasts a fully engineered, seamless 3D prime knit sock with quarter panels that feature mono mesh windows for increased breathability and visibility. Adidas's iconic Boost midsole and plugs are then encapsulated in a semi-translucent TPU shell. The outsole pays homage to the archival Marathon TR model with a 3D trefoil pattern, and the look is finished off with the PU dipped lace tips, reflective laces, and molded foam sock liners. Now, while the white colorway was the first one to officially release, it was not the first colorway that came into my possession. That was the gray-green glow. And I gave a glowing review about the shoe, and I called it one of the most comfortable shoes out there. And after trying on 5 different colorways of this particular silhouette, or 3 and 2 variations thereof, I am ready to proclaim one of the reasons why I consider this to be my favorite silhouette is because of comfort. The NMD S1, whether it's in the low or whether it's in the boot, is by far the most comfortable shoe I have ever put on my feet. That combination of that oh so thick Boost, yes, probably inspired by a Yeezy, but we move on, specifically the Yeezy 380, mixed together with the prime knit upper, just everything working in tandem together creates the most comfortable feeling my foot has ever felt when putting on a shoe. I don't mind. I love the stock sneaker look and feel, and I love the squishy and cloud-like feeling of Boost. So this is a comfortable shoe, just whether it's the low or when you put on the boot. Now the boot, the Rayat, the Ariat, the Riat, whatever, is built on the same technology. There's some other looks to it. It's very quirky, it's very clever. I'm gonna talk about it in a second. But that too is extremely comfortable. Not as comfortable as the low, just because the uppers are very different. But when I tell you that this is the most comfortable silhouette I have ever worn, I'm not lying. I'm not speaking in hyperbole. I'm not being paid. I am telling you, for someone who has delicate feet and loves a good cushy feel, this is by far the most comfortable silhouette I've ever put on. You can say, well, what about this one? No, I disagree. I believe this one. And I'll go like, great, good for you. But for me, there is no shoe on planet Earth that I have tried that is more comfortable than the Adidas NMD S1. So if comfort's the number one reason, what's number two? The look of the shoe. To me, this shoe looks like a futuristic shoe. And maybe some of you are going like, well, just because it's quirky and bulgy and ugly or whatever doesn't mean, yeah, I get that. But here's the thing. When you look at an Ultra Boost, the Ultra Boost looks like a shoe. You could take it to 10 years ago and people go like, oh, okay, that's cool. You could take it 15, 20 years ago. You could take almost any Jordan, maybe once you get past like the 25s or something, or the 20s, people might freak out a little bit, right? But we had the pump, and we had high tops, we had basketball shoes, we had quirky things. But if you were to take either the low or the high NMD S1 back in time, this would look like, what is this shoe? This shoe is from the future. It's come down upon us by aliens or whatever. Look, it just looks super cool, super futuristic. It has elements that we recognize, like the upper and the prime knit and the boost, but then it's constructed in a way that makes you stop and go like, it's a weird looking shoe. And maybe because it's so weird, that's why I think it's futuristic. The fact remains is when you look at Yeezys now, we're like, yeah, sure, whatever. But y'all remember the uproar when foam runners were released, when the Yeezy 700 was released, when the 380, heck, look, there was a time when Yeezys were considered like the wild, bonkers, futuristic silhouette. And there are still some secrets that are probably gonna come out, like that one fish looking shoe, the Derrick Rose Yeezy. But regardless, we have kind of gotten a little bit desensitized to the Yeezy futuristic wild bonkers look. We still like it, or some of us do rather, but that doesn't mean that it still shocks us like it used to. I think the NMD S1 maybe not be shocking or polarizing, but there is something about it that looks like Apple designed it. I know, that's such a weird way to say something when one giant corporation looks like they created something for another corporation, but you know how you look on WALL-E, the movie, and there's the white robot, Eva or Eve? I forget which one it is. We'll go with Eva. Eva. Anyway, that looks like Apple designed a robot, right? Not just the white colorway of this NMD S1, but specifically that one. It just looks like this came from an Apple store. This came, Johnny Ives waxed poetic in his British accent about how magical this shoe is. I love the shoe. And here's the thing. When you look at the other colorways, the white one, some of you might go, that's kind of boring. I think the gray green glow is pretty good looking. You have black, which is stock. You got to have a black shoe, right? I get you. And then you have the Pharrell Human Race, Ariat, whatever. You have that white one with the different colors, and the pink and the blues and the yellow. Oh, it's just so amazing. But here's the thing. As a child of the 80s and 90s, I grew up, well, when Timberlands were a thing, and not just to be confused with the rapper-producer Timbaland. Timberlands, you know, the giant brown shoes. And I think they're coming back. There's a resurgence. There's a renaissance, if you will. The latest version of the Pharrell Human Race NMD S1's Riat look like a futuristic version of Timberlands. Prove me wrong. Disagree with me in the comment section down below. But I look at that shoe, when I saw it online, I go, I have to buy that shoe. That reminds me of, did I have Timberlands growing up? Like I said, I graduated high school in the 90s, so of course I wore Timberlands to school. Oh my God. But this shoe just has the look and the feel. And to me, those are two of, if not two of the most important things when looking for shoes for me. I love a good story, right? I love a good collaboration. I love all the bells and whistles. And if you want bells and whistles, buy an NMD S1 because it comes in a huge box. It's a great unboxing experience, rivaled only by the Dizygotic people, which I've done videos about that. That unboxing experience is unparalleled. It's the Apple of shoe unboxing experiences. This is, let's just say this is the iPhone normal version. The Dizygotic's like the iPod Pro, iPhone Pro Max. Boy, you can really understand how old I am. I keep saying iPod. But regardless, there's a lot of, I'm so excited. I love the NMD S1. And the more colorways that come out, including that rumored, or I guess maybe not rumored, it's coming out, the black version of the Pharrell Human Race Ariat. And then there is that blue and gray version of the low NMD S1. Oh my gosh. I went bonkers when Ultra Boost was a thing. I had tons of Ultra Boost. I had tons of 350 V2s. It comes in waves, I get it, but I can definitely foresee me having a lot of NMD S1s because it's my favorite silhouette. Should I say my favorite silhouette of all time right now? Maybe not of all time. I don't want to discount any of the more famous or iconic or definitely more established silhouettes out there. But when I look and try on an NMD S1, I have to imagine it was like the first time people saw Boost for an Ultra Boost and put it on and tried it on and go like, what is this? Right? The first time you got a Yeezy, whether it's the Nike Yeezys or the 350s, 350 V2, just sort of that like, what is happening? I feel like I'm at the ground level of a shoe that could be more hyped, maybe should be more hyped, but is so underhyped. Don't get me wrong, that all white NMD S1, the OG when they came out, is going for ridiculous prices on retail because there was only so many made. Don't know how many, but that doesn't matter. But I feel like this shoe is just so slept on. And if you want comfortable and you want something unique on your feet, then the Adidas NMD S1 in the low or the Human Race Ariat high, at least try them on because they're so choice. If you have the means, I highly recommend it. I would love to hear what you think about my thoughts or just in general about the Adidas NMD S1 or the Human Race NMD S1 Ariat. Somebody tell me in the comment section down below how you pronounce it, and maybe some faithful viewer might tell me about all the inspirations that came into creating both of these silhouettes. Why don't you drop some history on us in the comment section down below. So to all of you out there, wherever you are, thanks for watching. Stay tuned and just chill. Till the next episode.